Hello again, everybody. What we have here today, just a little small project. I'm trying to help out the wife. She's been doing some quilting again, making some pillowcases for her mother. And we got the machines up and running for her. Nice old Kenmore and an old Singer. They both work beautiful. I worked hard to get these going. But what we're going to do here is quilts are a little bit different than just sewing regular clothes. And it's really nice to have an extension table to make this part bigger. So you can get the fabric up here, and it's just a lot easier to work with rather than having this edge right close to the stitching area. So what we're going to do, went to Home Depot, and we got ourselves a shelf here. I got another one for the other machine. Basically, it's about a 10 by 48 piece of melamine shelf. Usually takes brackets, as you can see here. And I just went ahead and cut this in half, about 2-foot long pieces. And went ahead and measured the machine. I've got my measurements and diagram here. Basically, you just need to know the depth of the deck from here to here and how long this is, so you can cut out a slot. Now, I'm doing this the hard way, of course, as I do everything the hard way. I'm going to go ahead and cut out the sections on either side, and then we're going to take these and join them together like this. We got some hardware that goes on the underside of this. It'll join the pieces together. And this slot will be cut out. And that slot will go around this right here. So you've got this here in the front, this in the back, extra table width behind the machine, in front of the machine. And you've got this extra width here coming off the end of the machine. I make it a lot easier to take big pieces like quilts and everything else to put them up over into the machine to get some stitches going. It's not difficult. Don't overthink it like I do, because I overthink everything. Because I just have to, everything has to be perfect. But as long as you get this within an eighth or even a quarter of this measurement, the depth and this length, it's not a big deal. It'll stay put and it's not going to go anywhere. But again, get these two pieces cut out. We'll get these joined together. We're going to drill some holes through this for legs. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 legs. And they're going to be about, what I measured, 2 5/16. That length plus the thickness of the wood is going to bring it right up even with the deck. And we're going to use some 1-inch, let me get my picture back on here so I can see what I'm doing. Some 1-inch oak dowel rod. I've got a plastic miter box with a dovetail saw. Just put it in there and we'll cut them off nice and square. We'll drill some pilot holes in these legs right in the center. Drill some holes through this. Locate them, drill some holes enough for the wood screw to go through. And then take a bigger drill bit and drill a little countersink in the top, so when the screw goes in, it's going to be nice and flush. Use countersink screws. But that's pretty much all there is to it. I've seen the plexiglass type tables, this but clear, out there. You can't get one for less than $80, and it doesn't really fit all that well. There's some people that make custom ones, but they're like almost $200. This is a better solution. This board was like $8. The piece of dowel was like $4. So that's $12. And the hardware combined, it's still under $20. And if you take your time and put this together solid, it's going to last you as long as you want to use it. Years and years, if not decades. Also, the melamine surface is pretty good because you can get dry silicone spray from an auto parts store or any of the home improvement stores, and just spray it down and just wipe it out. You do the same with the deck on your machine. especially if it's not as nice as this with a nice enamel paint, which is already, you know, fairly slippery. But you can do that so your fabric will, you know, flow through a lot better. But the melamine allows you to do that. If you just use, you know, particle board or MDF, medium density fiber board, or plywood, it's going to be a little rough and you have to paint it or varnish it. This way, already finished, nice surface, don't have to fiddle with it. Way to go. So we're going to move along here. We're going to get our lines laid out, get the jigsaw and start cutting them out. Stand by. Okay, just a little hint here. If you've got these portable machines like this and they're not mounted in a table, which is kind of strange if I'm making a sort of table. But anyway, never mind. The portable machines have a base attached to them like this, and there's the part of the latch. This latch sticks out a little bit, so you have to account for that. So that's what these notches are for here. So you can put them together. Hang on, get it lined up for you. There you go. That's about 1 inch by ½ inch. It's close enough for government work. It'll give you about a 1/16 of inch of clearance around this latch and allow this part to actually go right up to the case. So, and if you're going to try this, I just wanted to point out, you know, remember this, because if you don't, you're going to be sticking out of here about at 3/8 to a ½ inch, and there'll be a big gap here. There's going to be a little gap because this case has a little curve to it, but I'm not concerned with that. Let's see, where's my straight edge? Here we go. Yeah, see, it's going to look like that. Nope, sorry. But otherwise, if you don't get that, you're going to have a gap like that. That's not good. So there you go. All laid out. We're going to get to cutting. Here we go. We're going to use the old jigsaw for this. I got a brand new blade in it. I got a coarse blade. That just means I got to take my time cutting it. Fine blade, you can push a little bit further, because I don't want this this edge getting messed up. Here we go. Might want to position it first before you turn it on. First 2 lines right there. This little cut here, and that. There we go. Not so bad. Just gotta nibble that little bit out. We'll be done with that piece. And there we go. So just got to repeat it on the other board, and we'll go from there. There we go, all done. Got tape off. Not too bad. A little overcut, but it won't hurt anything. There we go. Now I'm just going to lay out some tape here so I can get my holes lined up, set up, and start doing some drilling. A little bit later, once I get the holes drilled on this and the countersink's done, I'm going to go ahead and tape up this board, both of these boards, and I'm going to throw a little paint on this open end. There is a melamine strip you can get at Home Depot, Lowe's, any of the home improvement places that carry these boards. It's an iron-on, believe it or not. And you get in different widths. You can get in the width to fit this, so you can cut these boards at particular widths or lengths. And you get the strip and you put it on here and you just, like that, put the strip on and just iron it on with one of those. Follow the instructions. So you can finish that edge. I'm just going to go ahead and tape it up and just throw some paint on it to seal it up, because that's what I got and it's the easiest thing for me to do. So onward. Okay, so get ready to cut the legs for this thing. I couldn't find the miter box anywhere. It might have been a victim of the last yard sale, who knows. But we need to cut these legs square at the ends. I know that's square to begin with because I've checked it. So with no miter box, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to adjust this and clamp it in place. And I've got my square set up to 2 5/16 inch. Because this stuff is 11/16. So 5/16 and 11/16 makes a whole inch. So that's it's 3 inches total, and the deck height's 3 inches. So now that you're confused, I'll explain it. The legs are going to mount like that. So the length of the leg plus the height of the wood, the white, needs to be 3 inches total to be even with the deck of the sewing machine. So there we go. This is the easiest way I could think of to do it. Probably won't be using the jigsaw. Instead, I'm going to use the hacksaw, which I did not bring out. I'll get that ready. So I'll just show you how I set this up. It's got a nice 90-degree angle right here on this piece of aluminum, which I happen to have in scrap. Put this back here, just like that. And that's 2 5/16. Hold that with my finger. Get a clamp on it. Clamp it down. Recheck it. 2 5/16. Just take the blade of the hacksaw and just follow the aluminum. Give me a nice square cut. So there we go. I'll go get the hacksaw and we'll get busy. I prefer to use the hacksaw because it's got finer teeth. I can control a little bit better. So give this a cut to see how it goes. I hope y'all can see from down there. Go right up against the aluminum. Rotate a little bit. There we go. Rotate a little bit more. I just got to stick the blade back in the slot, the kerf, and I've got it. Don't have to measure again. It's going to be a little painstaking, but hey, it works. pretty good. Came out all right. Slide that through. That's close. I can also take the sander or grinder to it, flatten them out a little bit. Not that big of a deal. So there we go, one leg, 11 more to go. And there we go, 12 legs, pegs, feet, whatever you want to call them. Not too bad. Just got to get them close. They look kind of uneven, but I took the file to the end of them and got them flattened out a little bit. Well, miter box is the best way to go, because that way you can't really mess it up. Also, if you've got a proper fine-tooth wood cutting saw, that's better than the hacksaw. Proper tools always help. But there we go. Now we got to drill some holes in these for pilot holes for our screws. And we got to get the holes drilled in the planks. Next. Okay, so there we go. Drilled and countersunk. There we go. Not so bad. Just got to get these taped up and get ready to paint that interior edge. Okay, so before paint, I decided I was going to go ahead and get these attached, get them all lined up. These are mending plates, steel, about 1/8 inch thick. I'm going to put, shouldn't have covered that hole, but here we go. I'm going to put 3 back here. I could use all 4, but I only got 12 screws. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. I could put another one back here if I needed to, but I think this is going to do the job. That should be pretty sturdy. Just start a hole with a punch hole and a hammer. Run the screws in. Then I'll see about getting these edges painted up. Okie doke. So we got her all together. I decided I'm not going to bother painting this. We'll see what the wife has to say about it. If she wants it painted, I'll take care of it. I end up using all 4 of the mending plates. I had to go scrounge some extra screws in on my boxes because I wanted it strong. Let's see. Got all 12 feet on here. And it's pretty firm. It doesn't rock, thank God. The screws that we bought for the mending plates are a little too long. You can see the little bumps here, but at least it didn't break through the melamine. So that should be okay. Screw heads are countersunk, not in the way. Pretty decent surface. I still need to clean this. Pretty dirty. But let's get a test fit here and see what it looks like. Well, that's not so bad. It's got a little slop to it. Maybe about that much, but that shouldn't be so bad. Just push it up here. Fabric goes this way. So that shouldn't be much of a problem. It's fairly solid. And I think that's going to help a bunch, actually. Got an extra 16 inches over here. 16 inches from the edge to the needle, anyway. No, not pretty to look at. I mean, but hey, I think it's going to do the job. That's dead even with the deck. Might hang up a little bit right here. But I don't think so. What we got? Let's see. Here's our tester piece. Run that through. Just bumps a little bit. Let's try flipping it over. this straightened out. That's not so bad. And besides, you can get your hand up in here and just. Now that level's okay. That level's not bad at all. I think that's going to work for her. Again, less than 20 bucks compared to 180. What else can you do? I don't think that's bad. I think it'll work. Get it all cleaned up. Leave it sit here for her and let her see it when she comes home. Not bad. I do things a little different. I get an actual countersink bit for the countersinks. The one I used wasn't quite big enough, but it actually worked. These are countersunk just below the surface, so they're not going to get in the way of anything. Miter box to cut the legs, of course. You can get those cheap at any hardware store. They're like $5, you know, Chinese tool section. It's basically just a one-use thing. Extra $5 to get square legs, not so bad. I end up sanding the feet down a little bit on the ends to get them a little more square. It didn't take too much. So the way I was cutting them actually worked pretty good. Just need a little bit of tweaking. Can't think of anything else at the moment. But anyway, pretty solid. I'll get it cleaned up for her. Everything will be good. That's about it. As always, I appreciate y'all tuning in and looking. I appreciate everyone who's been subscribing lately. I cannot tell you what that means. It's super nice. Especially a lot of people from the gamer community have been coming over and subscribing to me, which is awesome. You guys are great. And pretty soon I hope to be interacting with you more because I've got a computer in the works. Another budget build. We'll see if we can't get that going. Old tech, new games. It's going to be another challenge. There you go. All done. Sewing machine extension table build. Thanks again for watching. We'll see y'all next time.